How we doing, Titans fans? Titan Uprising here. Thank you for tuning in and watching the video. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate all the feedback and comments I've been getting lately. I try to comment back on everything. I love interacting with you guys. We all have different opinions and thoughts, and we all think things through differently. And that's okay. Hey, at the end of the day, we all want to see Tennessee win a Super Bowl, and I appreciate the feedback, like I said, because sometimes you guys see things from a different point of view than I would have looked at it. And it's like, wow, they're right. Hey, we're all fans of the same team, so keep the comments coming. I love it. Helps me learn and grow as well, and see things from a different point of view. Like I said, my goal is to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the month. I'm about 19 off. If you guys can make that happen, appreciate it. That's awesome. I want this channel to continue to grow, and I hope you guys like the content. So with that aside, I made a video about the defense, and it went very well. And I broke it down in depth, and I wanted to do one on the offense. I've done videos on tight ends, Treylon Burks, the quarterbacks, and then the offensive line. I wanted to put one together fully on the entire offense like I did on defense. This is going to be a longer video. It's probably going to be around a half hour. I'm not sure. It might even be over. And I'm going to get in towards the end of the offense. I'm going to get into Tim Kelly, who I think is the X factor of the offense. Obviously, the offensive coordinator is very important to a team, but I'm going to get into him pretty on depth here, and some statistics that he had in Houston on his way out, and what his best year was, and what he can do for our offense. I'm excited to talk about that, but I'm going to pop up the offensive depth chart here and break this down. And for everybody that has seen my videos in the past, if you do not know what site I use for the depth chart, it is ourlads.com. That is OURLADS.com. They do a very good job of breaking the depth chart down. They update it periodically. The last update was this morning, 11:17 a.m. Eastern time. So like I said, updated periodically. They get into depth on it. They tell you where the guy was drafted, what round, if he was undrafted. Love it. So we'll get right into the wide receivers here. We have Treylon Burks, our first round pick last year. Now, if you guys remember last year when we traded for him, it was around this time. Everybody said he had breathing issues, asthma, was coming off the field, and everybody was panicking and worrying, and I was too, to be honest with you. Now it seems like that's not an issue. He stayed in Tennessee all of the offseason, worked with the coaches and trainers, and I think that's behind him. I think he's gotten in football shape. You got to figure, these guys come from college to get right into football shape from college. These guys are going through the combine, and interviewing process, getting drafted, flipping their whole life, right? I mean, this guy didn't even live in Tennessee. Now he's living in Tennessee. So that's a big change for these guys. I think we're going to see Treylon Burks take a significant second-year leap, and I think we're going to see the guy that, we saw catch the touchdown pass over the middle, on the back of the end zone there against the Eagles. And, unfortunately, he got a concussion that play. But I think we're going to see that guy periodically, and I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be a true wide receiver one. We'll go right into Nick Westbrook-Ikhine now, who they have slotted in as our second wide receiver, which I'm hoping that does not happen. If NWI sees the wide receiver 2 role for this offense, we are screwed. I do not want that to happen. He needs to be wide receiver 4 or 5, preferably 5, preferably practice squad. I don't want this guy getting significant reps. If he does, we are screwed. I almost said the other word, but I'm trying to keep it PG-13 on here. I don't want this guy on our offense at all. No faith in him at all. He's just a slow possession receiver, and I don't think he's a very good route runner either. Just want the guy. If we have receivers beat him out in the depth chart, I will feel very confident in this offense. I shouldn't say very confident, but I'll feel more confident, especially in the wide receivers. Now we'll get into slot wide receiver here. We have Kyle Phillips, who was our 5th round pick last year, who was considered one of the steals of the draft. And I think he was. I am super excited for this guy. He added us some more weight on, some more muscle, so I'm hoping that keeps him on the field and healthier and more sturdy and less prone to nagging small injuries. And I think he can be a contributor. It's almost like drafting him this year, because we didn't even get him last year most of the time. So It's like adding a brand new wide receiver that's coming in on year two that knows a little bit of the offense already, even though it's changed, but there's still familiarity there. So now we'll get into Racey McMath. He had a huge, supposedly, right, huge camp last year, was just oohing and awing everybody, showing glimpses of what he could really be. He's prototypical size and speed for a wide receiver that you want. He just wasn't healthy last year. Vrabel at one point said that he'd be shocked if McMath, even came back. He didn't say shocked, but he's like, we're just hoping to get him back this season. So he must have been real banged up. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt this year. Continues that trend that he was on last year when he was catching everybody by surprise in camp. And we have Colton Dowell, our only wide receiver drafted this year. And we have some undrafted free agents, but the only one drafted, 7th rounder. And, he's got some good size and speed to him. So I'm hoping this guy can make the team. If there's going to be a team that a wide receiver makes it on that's like a late pick or undrafted, it's going to be the Titans. This wide receiver core is not great. So, hey, he's probably excited for that too, right? I'm sure some of these undrafted wide receivers are as well. If you want to go to a team and make it, your best bet is the Tennessee Titans because the wide receiver core is not good. Now we're going to get into Chris Moore, who I do believe ends up being our wide receiver 2. I'm hoping he beats out NWI. Now, Chris Moore, his 2022 stats were 48 catches for 548 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, Robert Woods was our wide receiver 1 last year statistically. He had 53 catches, 527 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So they were tied with 2 touchdowns each. Woods had 53 catches to Moore's 48, so Woods had 5 more catches. And Moore had 548 yards to Woods' 527, so Moore had 21 more yards. So Moore had 5 less receptions for 21 more yards and same amount of touchdowns. So he statistically, receiving yards wise, would have been our best wide receiver last year. Woods did not pan out. I'm glad he's gone. I think he's lost a step. Now, our leading touchdown receiver last year, just to throw this crazy stat out there, wasn't even a receiver. It was Dontrell Hilliard, a running back with 4 receiving touchdowns. So, I don't know if you want to say leading touchdown receiver, just a guy that caught the most touchdown passes was a running back. That's crazy, guys. That's how this offense was last year. Now, I'm hoping Chris Moore can be a wide receiver 2 for us, maybe a 3. Maybe some guy comes up and surpasses him. I'm hoping NWI is not our wide receiver 2. That will worry me to no end if that happens. Now, this is one of my favorite guys right now, undrafted guys. I'm excited for this guy, Jacob Copeland. So he's got the size, he got the 4.42 speed, 20 reps on the bench. Said he also wrote down the name of all 32 receivers who were drafted in 2023 draft. And he says he wants to embarrass the other 31 franchises for passing on him. Love it. Love seeing this stuff. It gives me some Amon-Ra St. Brown vibes. Obviously St. Brown was drafted, and it sucks that we could have drafted him, but instead we traded up and drafted freaking Des Fitzpatrick. But, hey, it is what it is. Thank you, J-Rob. But it gives me Amon-Ra St. Brown vibes, like I said. Not saying he's going to be that, but I like that fieriness to him. I like the competitiveness to him. I like the chip on his shoulder. I love it all. Bring it on, Copeland. And I hope you make this team. Like I said earlier, if there's a team you're going to make, being one of those guys, it's going to be the Titans because the wide receiver core sucks. Then we have Reggie Robertson. He's going to be practice squad or cut. Won't really dive too much into him. And then Mason Kinsey. Don't want to see him on the field anymore. If I have to see number 12 out there, I'll puke. I don't want him out there. Practice squad or cut. Let's hope Robertson and Kinsey do not see the field. Now we have 9 wide receivers there. I'm not going to get into the 4th and 5th stringers at all. You guys can see them there if you want. But I think I don't know if we'll roll into the season with more than 7 wide receivers. I can see 6. So I can see Kinsey and Robertson not making it. And then I don't know the other 7 who might not make it. I think it's an open competition like we've been doing. Hey, hopefully I get my wish and it's NWI not making a team. Let's hope, guys. Now we'll get into the offensive line and Andre Dillard here, who we got from Philadelphia. That was one of our bigger off-season free agent signings because, we didn't really sign anybody to big contracts because we didn't really have the money. Now we have him slated here at left tackle. And then at left guard, we had Peter Skoronski, our first-round pick at number 11 overall. Now, these two guys, in my opinion, are going to flip-flop as either on the depth chart now or stay that way. These are our left. This is our left tackle and left guard, Dillard and Skoronski. Who gets what, we don't know. Skoronski is really, everybody says he has too short of arms, can't play tackle. If that ends up being true, and he's our left guard. And then Dillard's our left tackle. And it could very well flip. Skoronski be our left tackle and Dillard is our left guard. That's what I want to see happen. If you're going to take a guy with 11th overall pick, I want him to be our left tackle, protecting the blind side for the quarterback for the next decade. That's what I want. He's had short arms his whole life. He knows how to, it's not like he had super long arms and, lost 6 inches on his arms. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, or he doesn't know how to play football anymore. He's been doing it for his whole life. So let's hope he can continue to prove people wrong. But either way, I'm very happy with the way the left side of the line looks right there. And Skoronski's been filling in at left guard and left tackle in camp so far. So obviously we're trying to figure out where to slate them. Don't be surprised if we roll out different formations with this offensive line in the preseason or against camp when we have camp against the Vikings before the second preseason game this year. We have a joint practice with them. Let's see if we can, or don't be surprised if we throw out different lines there, especially on the left side to see how we gel. Now we have Aaron Brewer, our center. I personally believe Aaron Brewer is going to be the center, but I also think if he is not the center, then I don't think he starts on the line anywhere. He'll be a backup. I think he's been slated to take over for Ben Jones for a while now, and I don't see him being a guard because I think he's too small. He's proven he can't be. Now we have Daniel Brunskill. I can see him being the center if Brewer isn't. He is very flexible in that manner. He came from San Francisco, ran Carthon-Ty right there. So I could see him, like I said, being center or right guard, but I do believe he ends up being our right guard. Now we have Nicholas Petit-Ferrer, otherwise known as NPF, and he was our 3rd-round pick last year. I think he stays right tackle as our starter. He's the only returning starter on the offensive line. If you guys think Brewer was, he was not. Ben Jones was a starter. Brewer came in to fill in. So our only returning offensive line starter is NPF. I think he stays at right tackle. I do think these are our starting 5. Now we'll get into the second stringers here, and we have Jalen Duncan, who was drafted this year in the 6th round. Love this pick, actually. He's very athletic, size-wise. He's good size, good speed. Like I said, athletic. Very raw, though, so he was very inconsistent. So he needs coaching. We have a new offensive line coach this year. Maybe we can coach him up a little bit. I like to see this guy shock some people. I don't see him taking over for MPF. Watch, and I don't believe this is going to happen, but watch something crazy happen. And this guy comes in, supplants Dillard, and now we have Peter Skoronski, our left guard for the next 10 years, and Duncan as our left tackle. Guys, this is an open offensive line competition. We're going to put the best starting 5 out there, and we didn't sign anybody to a fat contract to say, hey, we can't do that. And we knew Skoronski, or everybody seems to know Skoronski around the league is going to either be a left guard or a left tackle. So, it's not like we're on, and we know that too by how we're playing him in camp right now. We're trying to figure that out ourselves. So I don't see Duncan doing it. Would I love to see that happen? Yes, it means he's better and we're putting the best talent out there. But he's going to be a solid backup if not. Then we have Dylan Radins. I don't believe he is going to be anything more than a backup this year because he got hurt towards the end of last year. So he's not even going to be fully healthy until the second half of the season. We historically sit our banged up and injured players, which I do agree with, player safety there. And so I think we're going to sit him a little longer than most other teams would. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. But like I said, that's not going to put him on the field even to be a backup role towards the second half. If this guy was a 5th or 6th round pick, he'd be cut probably, in my opinion. But I think that 2nd round draft status keeps him on the team. Now we have Corey Levin, and I don't think he is going to see any starting time or compete for it. I really do not. Prove me wrong, Corey. Jamarco Jones, that was the guy we traded for last year from Seattle. Jamarco, he was having a good camp last year. Then he got hurt, so he didn't see the field. There's a chance he can come in and, maybe play center or sneak into the right guard spot and Brunskill's center. I could see some competition happening there. We'll see what he has. And then we have Andrew Rupkich, and I don't believe he is going to compete for a starting job. He'll be a 2nd stringer. And then we'll get into the 3rd stringers here. We have Zach Johnson, John Leglu, Xavier Newman, Jordan Ruse, and John Ojukwu. So I don't believe those guys are going to be anything more than practice squad or depth pieces for us. Not sure how many offensive linemen we're going to go with. We could end up going with just the 10 for the first and second stringers, and I could very well see that happening. That's why we have a lot of, Radin's going to be on IR for the first half of the year, so maybe we only go with 9, or we slide someone in that 10th role, but maybe we roll with 9 offensive linemen. That's why we have a lot of these guys that can do different positions here, and we've been doing that all offseason, especially with the line. We want guys that can play all over. Just put the best starting 5 out there, and if somebody goes down, you got a guy that can play guard, tackle, center. That's what you want. You don't want to have, a backup that's just a left tackle, a backup that's just a left guard, a backup that's just a center, and so forth. You want a guy that you can plug in all over. Easier said than done. You got to find the guys that can do that, and I think we have. So I think the competition there, I think center will kind of come down to Brewer, Brunskill, and dark horse maybe being Jamarco Jones. And then left tackle and left guard, I think that's going to be Skoronski and Dillard. Flip those which way you want, whether it goes Skoronski Dillard or Dillard Skoronski. We'll see how that goes. I think Duncan, could be a dark horse, guys. I don't know. I'm excited for that guy down the road. I really am. Now we'll get into tight end. We have obviously Chigoziem Okonkwo, otherwise known as Chig, who was our rookie last year, our 4th round pick. I'm really excited for this guy. We did not utilize him enough as a rookie until the end of the season. Obviously, we had a moron calling offensive plays, and he is finally gone, Todd Downing. So I hope we use Chig more. I think he has the talent. Reminds me of a Jonnu Smith, except a little more athletic. And I'm excited for this guy to have a second-year breakout year. You guys been watching any videos of him during camp? He's funny. I like it. Look up some stuff of his during camp. He's been mic'd up, and it's nothing but it's gold. You gotta watch it. Then we have Trevin Wesco, and he's gonna be mainly a blocker for us. He's gonna be what Jeff Swaim should have been for us as far as blocking goes. And this guy's gonna go out there and he's not gonna catch 4 or 5 passes a game. He might catch 15, 20 passes on the season. But he's going to be mainly a blocker for us. And then we have Josh Weil, who we drafted in the 5th round this year. And I like this pick a lot. I did mock drafts before the draft starts. The only draft pick I nailed for us, I got us right. And I actually had him in the 5th or 6th round. I can't remember, but it was 5th or 6th. So I got this pick right for us. I was very happy with that. The only one I got. So I got to take credit when credit's due, right? I'm excited for this guy. I think he can learn a little bit as a blocker. He's big-bodied, so I think he can learn a little quicker just because of his size, and he has grown as a blocker in college. So he's fast. He can catch. Look up some highlights of this guy catching one-handed passes. He could be a solid tight end 2 for us, and then Wesco could be just the tight end we bring in for like a heavy set for running. So I think this tight end class could be sneaky good. I really do. Mainly because of Chig, but really because of what Josh Weil can do for us, in my opinion. Obviously, they have Wesco as number 2 or tight end because, Weil's a rookie. But I hope he leapfrogs Wesco and then becomes a nice 1-2 punch at tight end for us. Now we get into quarterback here. We have Ryan Tannehill. I would love for us to trade him personally. I think you guys know my thoughts on that. I don't see that happening unless Will Levis really takes off here in camp. I don't think Malik's going to be a starter, so Will Levis would have to beat him out. Coaches really like what they see. That would have to happen in order for us to trade him. Now, I think he gives us the best option to win now. A lot of people say we're not in win now mode, which I have mixed feelings on. I think we have a great defense. The offense can just be top 20. I think we could compete, and I think we could win the division. I think we can make a little bit of noise in the playoffs. If the defense stays healthy, and if we just stay healthy in general, and the defense does what it's capable of doing, we could be a tough out. And I like us as an underdog rather than being the favorite. Now, they have interesting here. They have Will Levis as number 2 and Malik Willis is number 3. Now, they implemented that new rule this year that you can carry 3 quarterbacks. Obviously, that happened because of what happened to the Niners, right, in the playoffs last year. So I really do think we keep these 3 quarterbacks. I think it's going to be Tannehill, Levis, and Willis on the team. Because if we end up having Willis go to the practice squad, someone's probably going to poach him off the practice squad. So he's just got untapped potential there. I don't know how much being in Todd Downey's offense really screwed this guy up because we did nothing to help him out. Granted, we were hurt, but we didn't even roll him out to help him. We roll him out maybe here or there, and then when Tannehill was healthy, we put him in for a wildcat to do. Just come on, guys. That's not how you. Just Todd Downey's offense sucked last year, guys. This is sickening. I'm glad he's gone, but that's not what you do for a rookie quarterback. It's really not. I think Willis didn't have a fair shake last year. Not enough talent, and we didn't put anybody around him because we couldn't, because we were banged up. No line, no wide receiving options. I feel bad for Malik. Seems like a great guy. That's just how NFL careers work. Sometimes you get an unfair shake and it can ruin your career. That sucks. Maybe he catches on with somebody else. I like to see the best quarterback win. If Malik beats out Will Levis, that'd be great. Mainly because I just want to see competition. I want to put the best guy out there. But also, Malik was dropping back to pass sometimes, and Todd Downey's fun offense would be 2 wide receivers running routes. That's it. 2 routes being ran. You cover them up, what's the quarterback going to do? Got nothing. Now we'll get into Will Levis a little bit here. Seen some good things from him in camp. Seen some bad things like the accuracy issues and, short passes over the middle, stuff like that. But deep ball, guys, golden there. The ball just pops right off his hand. He's a physical freak. He can bulldoze people, stiff arm people, jump over people. He can rifle the football. He's a slinger. Guys, I'm excited for him. I really am. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder coming in the second round. People say he's kind of intense, which means he's, cares about the game. I think he's going to put his all into it. I'm excited for him. I'd like to see us just roll right out and start him and trade Tannehill, and this is not going to happen. That's the quarterbacks here for you. Like I said, that's probably going to be, we'll keep these 3 because of the new rule, and then it'll be Tannehill as starter. I would like to really see Will Levis truly earn that QB2 spot. If he doesn't, I'm concerned. We drafted a quarterback that high, and he can't beat out Malik, and Malik had such a god-awful rookie season last year. So we really want Will Levis to take that second-string quarterback job. If he doesn't, I'm a little worried about Will Levis. So let's hope that happens. Get into the running backs here. We have the future Hall of Famer here, Derrick Henry. What else is there left to say? Feed the guy the football, and you get production out of him. I've made a video already how I think he's already a Hall of Famer. This guy, in my opinion, is going to have what I personally think 1,800 yards rushing on the ground this year. I think this line is significantly better than last year. We don't have Dennis Daly, the swinging door at left tackle. That already makes us better. MPF coming in the second year. Brunskill's out there, and we have Dillard coming in. I think, and then obviously Skoronski, our first round pick. I already think we're better at offensive line than we were last year. I'm excited. We have better blocking tight ends than we had last year. So I think Derrick can truly be a powerhouse again. Not that he hasn't been. He hasn't been getting the recognition that he has been in the past. Derrick Henry hits 1,500 yards rushing, number 2 in the league for rushing, and everyone's like, It's just because it's Henry. You expect him to hit 2K, I guess. So I think he hits around 1,800. I really do. And this solidifies his Hall of Fame career even more. And he also had statistically his best receiving yardage season last year. So he's improving his game. Watching workout videos of this guy is just insane. He's putting the work in, he's putting the time in, putting the effort in. I love seeing it. Nothing but great things to say about Derrick Henry. I can talk about him all day. Now we have Hassan Haskins. I think he is going to be special teamers. I think or a special teamer, I should say. Didn't show me much of anything last year. Unfortunately, I think it's a waste of a 4th-round pick. Then we have Tyjae Spears, who is our 3rd-round pick this year. Guy's electric. Reports came out he has no ACL. Well, hey, you can't tear an ACL if you don't have one, right? I guess that's right. You're out thinking them there. That was a scary report to see that he doesn't have an ACL. And obviously, I'm making a joke by you can't tear it if you don't have it. That's just scary, guys. Other reports come out said that he might not make it past his first year or first rookie contract. So might be a 4-year player. Hey, if he gives us 4 years at solid play, solid backup role, being that receiving back for us and quick shifty guy that Dion Lewis was supposed to be, I will love that. I think he ends up supplanting Hassan Haskins there. So I think Hassan's going to be special teamers, might even be cut, who knows. But I think Tyjae Spears is going to be definitely our running back 2 there. I'm excited to see this guy on the field. He's electric. So that's the offensive depth chart for you guys. I didn't get into 4th or 5th stringers because I don't believe they will make the team or they'll be practice squad guys. Hey, someone prove me wrong. If you do, I'll make a video on you. Now, let's get towards the end of the video here. And this is what I kind of really want to talk about. I'm going to go into depth on this one. And this is Tim Kelly, guys. So he is now our offensive coordinator, and we do not have Todd Downing anymore. I'm smiling talking about it. No more Todd Downing. Love it. Get him out of here. Fire him again if you can. Hire him back and fire him again. Just the Jets, why you even got that guy? What the hell can you see in him? What did we see in him after we watched him destroy Oakland's offense when it was the Oakland Raiders? I just don't, whatever. I'm still pissed about that. I should have fired him after DWI too. Didn't do that either. Now, Tim Kelly was named the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans in 2019, but Bill O'Brien still called the plays. In 2020, Tim Kelly was offensive coordinator still, and then also named quarterback coach, and he was able to call the plays. So in 2020, Deshaun Watson had his best statistical year with over 4,800 yards and 33 touchdowns. One of the best passing offenses in the league right there. That's great, guys. I love seeing that. His first year with actual weapons and a quarterback, he did nothing but good things, right? You can't do much without a lot of talent. Even an offensive genius like Andy Reid needs to have somebody to throw the ball and somebody to catch the ball. So, Watson, 4,800 yards and 33 touchdowns. Obviously, he didn't do crap last year. I know he didn't. He was suspended for the first 10 games, but he didn't do anything when he came in. Maybe he was. I'm not saying he was a product of Tim Kelly, but maybe Tim Kelly had a lot to do with that because I'm actually going to get into this here. When Kelly got Davis Mills here in 2021, because obviously Watson was suspended in 2021, all that stuff went down. So he had Davis Mills to work with, and he had a 66.8 completion percentage, and he had an 88.8 quarterback rating in 2021. Now, Houston went 4-13, and the head coach Coley was let go, fired, and so was Kelly. So they cleaned house in Houston. Now, Davis Mills comes back the next year, and he has a 61% completion percentage and a 78.8 rating. So he went down 5.8 in completion percentage and 10 points in quarterback rating with Kelly being gone. And he also threw 5 more picks, which was tied for the league lead. So I think Kelly proved right there that he can work with a quarterback that wasn't, obviously not as talented in Davis Mills. And you saw what he could do with a good quarterback with Deshaun Watson. So I'm excited for this. I really am, for him calling our offense. And if you guys remember, prior to the start of the 2021 season, we requested to interview Tim Kelly, and the Houston Texans front office denied us. Vrabel wanted this guy. Did not happen. We ended up getting him last year instead. when he was let go after the 2021 season. So I really do think this is a guy that obviously Vrabel wanted for a reason. We're going to find out why. And for a lot of people that paid a lot of attention to the Titans last year, if you remember, a lot of reports came out around how much Tim Kelly was involved with the offense pregame, like for the practice week, right? Implementing play calling and everything. And if you remember last year, our offense in the first half was actually pretty good. And then the second half came out, we made no adjustments or anything. And I think it's because Tim Kelly really had a hand in playing or planning the offense for the whole week. And then you give Todd Downing the offense back, fully for the game, and then he can't make the adjustments on the fly. I think somebody like Tim Kelly can. I think this is such a huge move for us. The more I've looked into this, the more I like it. Like I said, he wasn't given a fair shake. When the head coach is let go, usually the offensive coordinator is gonna be let go too. And after the whole thing with O'Brien and DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson, everything just became a mess there. But we actually saw Kelly at his best in the 2020 season when he was offensive coordinator and QB coach. And like I said, Watson has best year statistically with 4,800 yards, over 4,800 yards, and 33 touchdowns. So, like I said, be excited for this guy. Obviously, he's not a player, he's a coach. I'm excited for him. I wanted to break down the whole offense, and I can't break down the offense without including the offensive coordinator. I think he's going to be a huge asset to this team. I think he's going to be a huge asset in particular to Will Levis. I really do. Like I said, I want to see Tannehill traded. It's probably not going to happen. But I am going to be, if this offense just hits top 20 this year, I'll be happy. And then we have a a lot of cap room next year. And then obviously the draft and everything. So if we get top 20 this year, we groom Will Levis for 1 year, and then we still have Tim Kelly as the offensive coordinator. I really am excited for next year. I really am. Obviously, I'm getting ahead of myself, but you got to think down the road too. Tim Kelly's going to play a big part in this offense, guys, and I'm excited for it. And that's the breakdown I had for you. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for this offense? Are you excited for Tim Kelly? Obviously, you have to be more excited for Tim Kelly just because of the fact that Todd Downing is no longer here, right? It's almost by default you have to be happy that Todd Downing is not coaching this offense anymore. You guys think that maybe I'm not giving somebody enough credit on the wide receivers, the offensive line? Do you want to see Tannehill as a starter this year? Do you want to see Will Levis get a shot? Do you think Malik didn't get a fair shake? Which I don't think he did either, but I don't think he should start over Levis. Maybe he can, I just want to see the best team out there, guys. But let me know your feedback, your opinions, your thoughts. Comment down below, and I'm going to keep these videos rolling, and I hope you guys have a great day, and tighten up, everybody. We'll talk soon.